Imagine this. Your child comes to you with a story about something that happened at school. Maybe they accidentally broke a vase or forgot to complete a task. How do you respond? Do you scold? Or do you create a safe space where they feel comfortable telling the truth? Teaching honesty isn't just about stopping lies. It's about helping children understand the value of integrity, trust, and respect for themselves and others. Before we dive deeper, let me remind you, if you want more guides on how to explain life's toughest topics to your children, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Each week, we share practical strategies and scripts that make conversations about honesty, kindness, and responsibility clear, calm, and effective. Honesty is one of those fundamental life skills that shapes relationships, decision-making, and personal confidence. Children who learn to be honest early on are better able to navigate friendships, school, and eventually professional life. But explaining honesty isn't as simple as saying, always tell the truth. Kids need examples, metaphors, and experiences they can relate to. Start by defining honesty in simple, concrete terms. For young children, it can be described as telling the truth even when it's hard and not pretending things are different from what they are. You can use familiar scenarios. If a sibling spills milk, honesty isn't just saying, it wasn't me, but admitting, I made a mistake and I'll help clean it up. By linking honesty to action, children learn that it's more than words, it's behavior. A powerful way to teach honesty is through stories and role-playing. Children love narratives, and they internalize lessons faster through storytelling. For instance, you might tell a short story about a character who finds a lost toy and struggles with whether to keep it or return it. Ask your child, what do you think the character should do? Why? This invites critical thinking while subtly reinforcing ethical behavior. Children also need to understand the emotional benefits of honesty. Explain that telling the truth can feel scary at first, especially if they think they'll get in trouble. But honesty leads to relief, trust, and stronger relationships. You can use a metaphor like, honesty is like a light in a dark room. It helps everyone see clearly and feel safe. Visual metaphors help kids connect abstract concepts to tangible ideas. Next, address why people sometimes lie. This doesn't mean encouraging dishonesty, but giving children context helps them understand human behavior. Explain that sometimes people lie because they are afraid, embarrassed, or want something. By understanding motives, children can learn empathy and also recognize that honesty is a choice they can control. Make sure to create a safe environment for honesty in your home. If your child confesses a mistake and your first reaction is anger or punishment, they might start hiding the truth. Instead, respond with calm curiosity. Thank you for telling me. Can you explain what happened? This shows them that honesty is valued more than perfection. Parents should also model honesty in everyday life. Children are constantly observing adults, and they learn as much from actions as from words. Admit your own mistakes openly. I forgot to pay the bill today. I'll fix it right now. Demonstrating honesty in small ways normalizes it and gives children concrete examples to emulate. Introduce honesty gradually and age appropriately. For younger children, focus on simple truths, admitting mistakes or sharing feelings. For older children, expand into complex areas like keeping promises, acknowledging when they've hurt someone, or correcting misunderstandings. Honesty grows as they grow. It's a skill built over years, not overnight. Finally, reinforce honesty through positive feedback. When your child tells the truth, especially in a difficult situation, acknowledge it. I'm proud of how honest you were. That was brave. Positive reinforcement encourages repeated behavior and helps children internalize honesty as a value they want to uphold. By approaching honesty with clarity, calm guidance, and consistent modeling, you create a foundation that will benefit your child in every aspect of life. Over time, they learn that honesty is not just a rule. It's a choice that empowers them, builds trust, and strengthens relationships. Now that we've explored why honesty matters, let's get into how to teach it in everyday life. Children understand honesty best when it's connected to situations they experience daily. Things like school, playdates, chores, and family routines. Real examples help them see honesty as a living skill, not just a rule. Start with small, relatable scenarios. For instance, your child may accidentally break a toy or spill a drink. Instead of immediately scolding them, ask questions. What happened here? Can you tell me the truth? Encourage them to describe the situation honestly. Praise them for telling the truth, and then guide them on fixing it, helping clean up, apologizing, or finding a solution. This approach reinforces that honesty is linked to responsibility and problem solving. Role-playing is a powerful tool. Create mini scenarios where your child can practice honesty in a safe setting. For example, pretend that a cookie is missing from the kitchen jar. Ask your child, if you took the cookie, what would you do? Then act out both choices, telling the truth versus lying, and discuss the consequences. Role play allows children to explore situations without real stakes, making lessons stick more effectively. Another practical example is using story time as a teaching moment. Many children's books feature characters facing dilemmas where honesty matters. After reading, ask your child, what would you have done in this situation? Or, why was it important for the character to tell the truth? This not only reinforces a lesson, but also develops critical thinking and empathy, as children consider the feelings and consequences of others. Children also encounter honesty in social interactions outside the home. If they're at school and a friend asks to copy their homework, it's a chance to discuss integrity. Role-play possible responses together. I'm happy to help you understand it, but I can't give you my answers. Practicing phrases beforehand equips children with confidence to act honestly in real situations. It's important to talk about white lies and harmless lies too. Children will naturally hear things like, "It's fine, I like your drawing." Even if someone doesn't, explain that honesty is about intention and kindness. Sometimes, a gentle lie is meant to protect feelings, but children should also understand when honesty is important. Teaching the nuance helps them navigate complex social interactions thoughtfully. Daily routines are full of teachable moments. Meal times can become mini lessons. Who remembers putting away their plate? Be honest. Chores can be opportunities too. Did you sweep the floor like we agreed? Turning honesty into regular habits ensures it becomes natural rather than exceptional. Another key strategy is modeling honesty through adult behavior. Children notice everything. If you admit your own mistakes, apologize when you're wrong, or openly share your feelings, they learn that honesty is a normal, respected part of life. Say things like, "I forgot to send that email. I'll fix it." Or, "I made a mistake in my calculations. Let's correct it together." These small acts show that honesty is valued more than perfection. Praise and reinforcement are essential. Highlight moments when your child chooses honesty over convenience, even if it's minor. "I saw you tell the truth about losing your toy. That was brave and responsible." Positive reinforcement strengthens a connection between honesty and reward, making children more likely to repeat the behavior. It's also important to acknowledge feelings associated with honesty. Sometimes telling the truth is scary. Children may fear punishment or disappointment. Let them know it's normal to feel nervous and that their courage matters. "I understand it was hard to tell me. I'm proud you did." Framing honesty as a brave and valued choice encourages repeated honesty over time. Finally, encourage children to reflect on consequences. Discuss what happens when honesty is upheld and when it isn't. Use examples from your child's life. A friend who lied and lost trust, or a sibling who confessed and helped solve a problem. Reflection deepens understanding and helps children internalize lessons. By consistently using real-life situations, role play, stories, praise, and modeling, you turn honesty into a tangible, actionable skill. Children begin to see it not as an abstract rule, but as a guiding principle that shapes how they interact with the world. Over time, these practices build not only honesty but also trust, empathy, and confidence, foundations that will benefit them for a lifetime. Even the most honest children will face moments when lying seems easier. Maybe they forgot to do homework, broke a rule, or want to avoid disappointing someone. These moments are not failures. They are teaching opportunities. How parents respond shapes whether children continue practicing honesty or start hiding mistakes. First, emphasize that everyone makes mistakes. Frame mistakes as natural parts of learning rather than moral failures. You can say, "I make mistakes every day. What matters is how we handle them." This normalizes imperfection and reduces the fear that can drive dishonesty. Children who know it's safe to admit errors are more likely to choose honesty when it counts. When a child lies, approach it with curiosity, not anger. Ask questions like, "Can you tell me what happened?" Or, "Why did you choose to say that?" Avoid immediate punishment. This can create a cycle of fear and concealment. Instead, focus on understanding the motivation behind the lie. By exploring the why, children learn self-awareness and problem-solving, rather than simply memorizing rules. Introduce the concept of natural consequences. Explain that dishonesty often leads to complications, while honesty, even when difficult, simplifies life. For example, if you tell the truth about breaking the vase, we can fix it together. If you hide it, the mess might get worse or someone else will get hurt. Seeing tangible outcomes reinforces that honesty benefits everyone. Role play is valuable here as well. Present scenarios that tempt children to lie. Losing a game piece, forgetting a chore, or breaking a toy. Act out choices and consequences for lying versus telling the truth. Then discuss the outcomes. How does each choice affect trust, relationships, and feelings? Practicing in a safe environment builds confidence for real-life situations. It's also essential to praise bravery and honesty, especially when telling the truth is hard. Statements like, "It was brave to tell me you made a mistake," or "I appreciate that you were honest even though it was scary," reinforce the idea that courage and honesty are linked. Positive reinforcement helps children internalize honesty as a desirable value. Teach children strategies to resist the temptation to lie. They can pause and breathe before responding or ask themselves, "What's the honest thing I can do?" These simple techniques help build impulse control and thoughtful decision-making, turning honesty into a habit rather than a forced rule. Discuss peer pressure as well. Children often encounter situations where friends encourage bending the truth. Equip them with ready phrases. "I prefer to tell the truth," or "I don't feel comfortable lying." Role-playing these interactions strengthens resilience and teaches children that honesty is a strength, not a weakness. Another key element is self-reflection. Encourage your child to think about times they told the truth and how it made them feel, as well as times they lied, and the resulting complications. Reflection helps them connect honesty to emotions and social outcomes, creating deeper understanding than mere instruction. Parents should also model repair after mistakes. When adults admit their own errors and correct them, children learn that honesty is not just about admitting mistakes, but also about taking responsibility and making amends. For example, "I forgot to call Grandma today. I'll call her now and apologize." Children see honesty paired with action, reinforcing integrity. Finally, make honesty a celebrated part of family culture. Share stories of honesty in history, books, or daily life. Highlight family members' honest choices. Create small rituals that reinforce honesty, like a weekly reflection or storytelling time. By embedding honesty in daily routines, children see it as a natural, respected, and rewarding part of life. In summary, mistakes and temptations to lie are inevitable, but they are also opportunities for teaching, modeling, and reinforcing honesty. Through curiosity, guidance, role play, praise, and reflection, parents equip children with the tools to make the right choice, even when it's difficult. Over time, these experiences strengthen integrity, self-confidence, and the trust that forms the foundation of healthy relationships. Teaching honesty is not a one-time conversation. It's a continuous process that grows as your child matures. Habits of honesty are formed through consistent practice, modeling, reflection, and reinforcement. In this part, we'll explore strategies for making honesty a lifelong value that becomes natural for your child. Start by integrating honesty into daily routines. Meal times, bedtime, and playtime are full of teachable moments. Ask simple, open-ended questions. What was something you told the truth about today? Or, did you notice anyone being honest with you? Encouraging children to reflect daily reinforces the importance of honesty and connects it to their lived experiences. Another powerful tool is storytelling and real-life examples. Share stories of honesty from your own life, from historical figures, or from books. Discuss consequences of both truthful and dishonest choices. Children internalize lessons more effectively when they can connect them to narratives rather than abstract rules. Stories also make honesty emotionally meaningful, linking it to courage, trust, and friendship. Model honesty consistently. Children are constantly observing parents' behavior. Demonstrate honesty in small and large ways. Admit mistakes, apologize when appropriate, and keep your promises. When children see adults handling situations with integrity, they internalize that honesty is a respected and rewarding choice. For instance, I made a mistake at work today. I'll fix it and explain what happened. This shows that honesty is a strength, not a weakness. Create safe spaces for honesty. Children must feel confident that telling the truth won't always lead to punishment or shame. If a child confesses a mistake, respond with calm guidance. Thanks for telling me. Let's think about how to fix it together. Over time, children learn that honesty leads to support, problem solving, and trust, making them more likely to choose truthfulness even in challenging situations. Introduce progressive responsibilities linked to honesty. For example, as children grow, give them small choices that require integrity. Reporting homework completion honestly, sharing honest opinions respectfully, or keeping promises to friends. Praise and acknowledge honest decisions. By linking honesty to responsibility, you help children see that integrity is a skill tied to autonomy and respect. Teach children about ethical dilemmas and decision-making. Present age-appropriate scenarios where honesty might be difficult, such as discovering a friend did something wrong or witnessing unfair behavior. Ask, what would be the honest thing to do here? Discuss consequences together. This encourages critical thinking, moral reasoning, and courage. Over time, children learn to weigh honesty against other pressures and choose integrity consistently. Encourage reflection on feelings and outcomes. After an honest action, talk about how it felt and what positive results it created. For example, I noticed you told a teacher about the missing assignment. How did that make you feel? Did it help solve the problem? Reflection reinforces the emotional and practical benefits of honesty. Reinforce honesty in social contexts. Children will encounter peer pressure, teasing, or situations where lying seems easier. Prepare them with strategies: polite refusal, clear explanations, or redirecting the situation. Practicing these responses through role play empowers children to maintain integrity without feeling isolated or pressured. Celebrate honesty as a family value. Recognize not only when your child is honest, but also when siblings or other family members act with integrity. Create small rituals or discussions where honesty is praised and shared. Over time, honesty becomes part of the family culture rather than just a rule or expectation. Finally, understand that building lifelong honesty is a journey. Mistakes will happen, temptations will arise, and sometimes children will struggle. But through consistent guidance, modeling, reflection, and reinforcement, honesty becomes embedded in their character. It grows into a habit that shapes relationships, builds trust, and empowers children to navigate life with confidence and integrity. By weaving honesty into daily life, modeling it yourself, and celebrating truthful actions, you give your child a skill that will benefit them for decades. Honesty is more than a rule. It's a foundation for trust, resilience, and lifelong success. And as you continue nurturing this value, you're not only teaching your child how to be honest, you're showing them how to be courageous, empathetic, and responsible in every area of life. As we reach the end of this guide, let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've explored about teaching honesty to children. Honesty is not just a lesson. It's a lifelong skill that shapes relationships, decision-making, self-confidence, and personal integrity. When children understand the value of telling the truth, they gain more than just moral knowledge. They gain trust, respect, and the ability to navigate life with clarity and courage. Throughout this journey, we've emphasized several key strategies. First, honesty must be taught through daily practice and real-life situations. From small accidents at home to interactions with friends and schoolwork, children absorb lessons best when honesty is contextualized. Using relatable examples, role-playing, and storytelling gives children concrete ways to understand and apply honesty in their own lives. Second, modeling honesty consistently is essential. Children watch and mimic adults' behavior. When parents admit their own mistakes, apologize when necessary, and handle situations with integrity, children learn that honesty is a respected and natural part of life. Modeling turns abstract concepts into tangible actions they can emulate. Third, it's vital to create safe spaces for honesty. Children need to feel confident that telling the truth, even when difficult, will not lead to harsh punishment or shame. When parents respond with calm guidance, curiosity, and problem-solving support, children understand that honesty is valued more than perfection. Positive reinforcement strengthens this behavior and builds trust. We also explore the importance of handling mistakes and temptations to lie. Every child will face moments when lying seems easier. These situations are opportunities for teaching, reflection, and discussion, role-playing difficult scenarios, praising courageous truth-telling, and explaining natural consequences helps children internalize honesty as a habit and a choice rather than a rule. Another important aspect is teaching nuance and empathy. Children should understand why people sometimes lie and the difference between harmless social fibs and dishonest behavior that can hurt themselves or others. Guiding children to think critically, weigh consequences, and choose integrity fosters both moral reasoning and emotional intelligence. To make honesty a long-term habit, integrate it into family culture. Encourage reflections on daily truthful actions, celebrate honesty within the household, and reinforce integrity through stories, discussions, and role modeling. Teach children strategies for peer pressure, ethical dilemmas, and everyday decisions where honesty might be challenging. Over time, children internalize honesty as a core value, not just a temporary rule. Remember, teaching honesty is a journey. Mistakes will happen, temptations will arise, and children will not always make perfect choices. But the consistency, guidance, and example you provide as a parent create a foundation that will last a lifetime. The goal is not perfection. It's empowerment, trust, and ethical decision-making. By approaching honesty with patience, modeling reflection, and celebration of truthful behavior, you equip your child with tools that extend far beyond childhood. Honesty becomes a guiding principle in friendships, school, work, and future relationships. It helps them navigate challenges, build confidence, and develop empathy for others. Finally, let this be a reminder. You are your child's first and most powerful teacher. By prioritizing honesty, demonstrating it yourself, and encouraging open communication, you shape not just behavior, but character. Your efforts today will ripple through their lives for decades, helping them grow into trustworthy, resilient, and thoughtful adults. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more practical strategies on explaining life's hardest topics to your children. Each video gives you concrete examples, scripts, and approaches that make challenging conversations calm, clear, and effective. Together, we can equip the next generation with the skills, values, and courage they need to thrive.